My name is Yoni Kalin.
And I'm Gawan Fiore.
About a year ago, I attended a Washington, D.C. TED Talk. Now, the speakers were incredible. Their ideas and visions inspiring. Yet the most important thing I learned that day was how far kids can go with a bit of tenacity and ambition. I hope today that we're able to inspire you and motivate you and make you feel the same way that I did that day. And I want you to remember that just 1 year ago, I was sitting in the same exact seats that you're sitting in today. I want to talk to you about the art of perception. The art of perception is the ability to look at something not just for what it is, but for what it can be. Right now I'm holding up a crayon. What do you see? Do you just see a used piece of wax? What else can this crayon become? I want you to look at this crayon not as something to discard, but instead as something to repurpose and reuse. Be creative. This is the way a social entrepreneur thinks. A social entrepreneur channels the creative and innovative thinking of a traditional entrepreneur and uses it to create social change in the community. Not every idea is realistic, but what's important is that you're using your imagination and you're coming up with a creative approach to solve challenges in our community.
What drives a social entrepreneur is passion. If you see something in the society, in your community around you, that bothers you, don't let it go. Take that passion and instead turn it into a plan for social change. And I want you all to think like social entrepreneurs with me for a minute, and let's think about a hypothetical problem. I'm holding up a crayon here. Take a look at this crayon. What would you do if you saw someone take out this perfectly new crayon and then just throw it in the trash the very next moment? What if you were sitting in a restaurant and you saw the crayons that you had barely even touched get tossed away in the trash, destined for landfill and who knows where? What would you do? Any ideas? Yeah?
I think you could donate the crayon.
Perfect. That's a perfect idea, and that's exactly what we did. That hypothetical situation became very real for us when we saw this exact thing happen. The crucial point here is that small acts can make big differences. Our project, our organization, the Color My World project, started out as a very simple idea. We saw waste in our society. We wanted to fix that. We thought that we could repurpose these crayons if we collected them from a restaurant and taking them away from a landfill, instead donated them to the children at underfunded schools and early childhood care centers. We started with just one restaurant. We tried it out. We wanted to make sure that this was a realistic idea, a viable idea, and that the restaurants could really donate enough crayons to make a difference. And in just 2 months, after placing the first bin in our first restaurant, we had collected over 755 crayons, most of which were entirely unused. Now, as if throwing away thousands of reusable crayons a year wasn't a big enough problem, it turns out that an overwhelming 90% of all the schools that we contacted said that they actually needed crayons, that they actually didn't have enough money to fund their art curriculums. From right then, we knew our idea was in business.
Now, something that I hope I can share with you is the beauty of having a social venture, watching it grow from nothing, from one idea. So, of course, as your venture grows, you're going to need some help. First recommendation, never do anything by yourself. You're going to need a team. And with a team comes fresh ideas. Ideas that you might not have thought of before that can help you go to the next level. As we added additional restaurants, it became easier and easier to expand to new locations. We could use the restaurants as referrals and say, we're working with this branch, would you like to join us? As we added team members, it became easier to focus and work with more schools. And this exemplifies a basic truth of social entrepreneurship. The more people, the more partners, and the more passion involved, the easier it is to grow. Now, instead of just simply dropping the crayons off at a school, we decided why not take advantage of the opportunity to color with the kids, have some fun, and of course, teach them about the importance of recycling. We read to them a children's recycling book, and we teach them about the different ways of reusing paper, tissue boxes, anything. And it's a lot of fun to see how involved they get. The kids love coloring with us, have a lot of fun, and the smiles, cliche or not, are just make you just feel good for the rest of the day. And we, of course, wanted to tell them where these crayons came from. So when they become the next generation, when they take the world on, they'll already have an environmentally conscious mindset.
One crayon gave us the experience of contacting corporate offices, of pitching to restaurants, of creating and executing comprehensive business plans, and most importantly, having fun with the kids and hopefully truly making a difference in their lives. So I want you to imagine, use your imagination, what you could do with your project or a project yet to come. Something that you will start in the future, something that will be sparked by a problem or a passion in your community. If you have a good cause, you will have the support from the people around you and from people you have never even met before. People who see that you are taking an initiative and running a good project, and they'll back you up. I want you to look at this crayon again, and I hope you understand why we asked the question, when is a crayon more than just a crayon?
Thank you very much.